Not long before I started this channel, I almost talked myself out of it completely. Not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I was convinced that I wasn't qualified to say it. No seminary degree, no decades of walking with God without stumbling. I'm just a guy who drifted from his faith and is finding his way back. Here's why I started anyway, and what I'm still figuring out as I go. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this channel exists, who it's actually for, and what I'm hoping we build together going forward. It's not just videos you watch alone, but something more than that. Here's what I kept running into. Men my age, raised in or near faith, who drifted the same way that I did. And when they went looking for something to fill that gap, faith wasn't usually where they landed first. They found podcasts about discipline, about ambition, about becoming stronger versions of themselves. Good content, some of it, but it was missing something. A foundation underneath the discipline. A reason for the strength beyond just getting more out of life. I looked for a version of that conversation with faith actually built into it. And most of what I found was either too soft, too matter, or too academic to really teach me where I actually was. It says iron sharpens iron, so man sharpens the countenance of his friend. Proverbs 27 verse 17. Now I didn't have that. Not really. Not around the men who were trying to figure out faith and manhood at the same time. Without pretending that they had it, solved, right? So I decided that if I couldn't find it, I'd start building it. Even if it's just, bad and unfinished right now, right? If you've played the game Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you know that Henry doesn't start the game out as a warrior, right? He's not the greatest, right? He starts as a blacksmith's son who barely knows how to even hold a sword, right? Everything he becomes through actual walking, failing, training, getting back up, one skill at a time. Nobody handed him competence at the start. So that's exactly where I'm starting from here too, right? So if I'm not a pastor, not a theologian, not someone with all of this figured out, what actually qualifies me to make this channel? And honestly, I've asked myself that question more times than I can count. And here's the doubt that I had to work through before I ever started recording. I kept thinking, who am I to talk about this? There are men who've walked, with God for 40 years, who know scripture in and out, who could do this way better than I could. And that's true. But I realized that I was asking the wrong question. The question isn't whether I'm the most qualified man to have the conversation. It's whether I'm willing to have it honestly, in front of other men who are exactly where I am, not ahead of them, not lecturing down at them, just walking next to them, right? It says, my grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. That's in 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. Now that verse, right, didn't make the doubt disappear. It just gave me permission to start, right? Weakness and all, instead of waiting until I feel ready. Because I don't think that day really ever comes. Right? In Clair Obscure, the characters are given an impossible task, right? By people far more powerful than they are, and none of them feel ready for it. They move forward anyway together, imperfect, the whole way through. That's closer to the truth than any polished mission statement I could ever write you, right? So here's the real reason underneath it all. The thing I actually want to do, or want you to walk away from this video, is believing. I didn't start this channel because I had answers. I started because I got tired of pretending men like me don't exist, right? Men who love God, who want to be good husbands and fathers and leaders, but who never get handed a real blueprint for any of it. So I started it because somewhere out there is a guy exactly like I was 2 years ago, just scrolling at midnight, half convinced faith and masculinity can't actually go together. And I wanted him to find something that says otherwise. Not a perfect answer, but an honest one. So being confident of this very thing, that he has begun a good work in you, will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. Philippians 1 verse 6. That verse isn't about me having it all figured out. It's about trusting the work started in me, started in you. It doesn't depend on either of us being finished yet. Right? In Elden Ring, you don't start as someone chosen because you're already strong. You start tarnished, broken, without direction. Grace is extended to you before you earn a single thing. Everything after that is walked, not given. That's the whole premise of this channel. And if I'm honest, none of us start qualified. We start willing or we don't start at all. So what does this actually mean for you watching right now? Here's what I want to be straight with you about. I'm hoping that this becomes. I don't want this just a channel, just something you watch and scroll past. It says that two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift his companion. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 and 10. That's the whole heart behind why I'm doing this. Not just a library of years, but eventually an actual brotherhood of men who check on each other, who don't fight this alone. It's not built yet, but it's exactly what I'm working towards, and I want you to be here for it, from the ground floor, not after it's already something. So I started this channel because I was tired of pretending like men don't exist. Men chasing God and manhood at the same time, badly and honestly, without all the answers. So I'm still figuring this out as I go, and I'm not interested in pretending otherwise for the sake of looking good on camera, because I don't. What I do know is this: I don't want to walk this alone, and I don't think that you do either. So this is a channel for men who stay for this. Not the ones looking for a quick answer, and gone by next video. The ones who actually want to build something real with the guys walking the same road. If that's you, subscribe. Not just for the algorithm, but because I want to know your name eventually, right? Not just the view count. I would like to know my brothers.